firing incident has been reported at a military station. The firing incident took place at Bhatinda firing, reported in the early hours today. Well, that is the big breaking news that we're getting you at this point in time, where the firing incident has been reported at a military station in Bathinda in the early hours today. And to get us more details, I'm joined by our senior editor, Shreya Dwandiyal, here with me. Shreya, break it down for our viewers as to what exactly happened. Where did this firing take place, and has there been any casualties reported?
Yes, there have been 4 fatal casualties reported, which means 4 people have died in this firing. Now, if you look carefully at the statement that the Indian Army has issued, and you've just read it out for our viewers as well, they are not mentioning the word terror strike. But the fact is, our sources telling us that there are 2 people, 2 men on the loose inside Bathinda camp. They are carrying weapons. They are the ones who have fired at a regimental mess, is what we are being told. This was a regimental officer's mess where the firing has taken place, and there have been at least 4 fatal casualties according to the Indian Army. Now, this number may go up. For the moment, these 4 men are on the loose and search operations continue in Bathinda. The incident happened early in the morning at around 4:45. So messages went out to everyone who lives in the camp. And do remember, in a camp, you don't just have army offices and units that are located. You have schools that are located within an army camp. You have children who will go to school in the morning. There are families who live here as well. So it was important to ensure that everyone stays inside their homes so as for a hostage situation not to arise. Those messages have been sent out. In the initial burst of firing, we believe, at the officers' mess, at least 4 people have died. The 2 men who have opened fire are on the loose. There are searches being conducted across Bathinda, not just in the camp, to try and find where they are. They could very well be hiding in the camp, Samia, because these are things that we have seen in the past. Almost exactly the same thing had happened in Nagrota in 2016, where terrorists had entered, at least 5 terrorists had entered, and by the end of the operation, there were 7 army officers who had been killed army men who had been killed along with these 3 terrorists. There was a hostage-like situation there as well. In this case, in the case of Bathinda, the army statement doesn't mention any hostage situation. What they are telling us is that 4 people have been killed in this firing. This firing happened early in the morning, and there are 2 individuals who are still on the loose, which means the men who were behind this firing have still not been nabbed. So that operation continues. Tensions fairly high at the Bathinda camp as we speak, because to say that the situation is under control will not be the correct picture to give to our viewers right now.
But Shreya, also tell us about, has there been any alert that has been sounded in the locality, regionally? How is this to go forward? Has the Home Ministry made an intervention? Has there been any terror squads that have been deployed or sent across to try and put things under control?
If we just go by the army statement, and right now, it's best to just stick to what the army is telling us, because in a situation like this, humor mongering is very, very common. But I can tell you a couple of things in response to the question you asked me. First, just to put the facts in front of our viewers, this firing incident, the army is still not calling it a terror strike, but this firing incident, according to the army, was reported early at around 4:35. This happens inside the Bathinda Military Station. As I said, there are schools here, there are families that live here, apart from having officers' messes, JCO messes, units, offices, etc. of the Indian Army. To answer your question, within the camp itself, units have something called a quick reaction team, specifically for situations like these. These quick reaction teams essentially means that there is an officer in charge and there are soldiers in charge whose responsibility it is to quickly respond, as quickly as possible, respond to situations that are developing on the ground. In this case, a firing incident.
Checked over there. Hold your thought. I will come back to you.